subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
All right, we are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We are in this building, ready to chop it up on the tap in as we always do. Glad to have everybody in here, man. Much respect to you all. Thank you guys for tuning in, waiting on me to come on. I'm here, you're here, we're here. We're going to chop it up and have some very good game as we always do. Before I get started, ladies and gents, I got to shout out some of the regulars in the room, and I'm going to do it real quick. We got a lot of good people in here already. I see you. I got Rain Love. We got Sheba Kita, Cha Cha. We got Ivy World. We got Cassandra. We got Miss Willa. We got FBA Law, Jalon in the building. We got Sweets, Lil O Me, C. Lou, Conservative Chris, the low-key tether, Sir Mike Welsing, Miss Skyline, KK, the lovely Stephanie, Hoodoo in the building, the lovely Rashonda, Queen Mother Empress in the building from Detroit, and the legendary Tether Nader. Round of applause to everybody. Respect to the law, respect to the law. Excuse me. So we're going to try to get some calls in early and all that good stuff so I can hear from the fam. First thing I want to talk about, boy, there's a new beef with Nicki Minaj. Y'all seeing this social media stuff now? Nicki Minaj is beefing with the artist SZA. Now they are beefing with each other. Well, it looks kind of one-sided. SZA said something, and I don't know. Nicki seemed like she kind of instigated. I don't know where all this stuff is coming from, but Nicki is beefing with new or different artists, it seems, on the regular basis now. So what's going on with that? Why was she beefing with SZA now? And then she's taking shots talking about Nicki saying how she's a bigger artist and her tour, one of her tours, grossed more. Because SZA, she was on the tour with Kendrick, and that's killing the game. And I think SZA had her own tour that grossed around 100 million, from what I understand. So they're throwing numbers out there, and some of the fans are getting involved. So this is real interesting. But my thing is, why is Nicki? Because I got a bigger question. Why does it seem that Nicki Minaj, who's Trinidadian, she's a Trinidadian immigrant, right? I know she's Trinidadian, but didn't she immigrate here when she was like a kid, family? Where's some of the barbs? Do we got any barbs in here? We had a sassy Drake fan in here, so we had a sassy gangster Drake fan. I know we got a sassy barb up in here. Any of y'all niggas barbs? Any of y'all niggas running around here with the Chung Lee shirt on or whatever? Do we have any barbs in here? So look, Nicki, it seems that Nicki has an issue. She's always primarily beefing with foundational Black American artists. Does that seem like a pattern? I mean, she was beefing with Jay. Now Jay is FBA. Isn't somebody Caribbean though in Jay's family? Is it somebody? One side is possibly Caribbean, but Jay is FBA from what I understand. Even she's beefing with SZA. SZA's half FBA. I know her mother is Cameroonian, I think. Right? SZA's mother is Cameroonian. And I like SZA. But yeah, I think she even admitted on one of her Twitter posts that she was a descendant of slaves. She's a descendant of slaves here. So she's admitted that. But I knew something else was going on because I saw an old picture of SZA and she was performing somewhere, and it was like a still shot, and she was performing, and she had her bundles in her hair, and she was turning her hair a certain way, and they caught her hair turning, and you can see that kitchen. She had a kitchen under her bundles, and I said, wait a minute, that's not an FBA kitchen. She might be mixed with something. She might be mixed with something else. So I think that kitchen was the Cameroonian side. That kitchen, it was heavy. That kitchen was real heavy. And I know some FBA sisters, they don't let that kitchen go down like that. Yeah, that's the Cameroonian side. Well, that kitchen was yeah, that kitchen was straight from the motherland right there. And yeah, FBA sister, somebody FBA would have got a flat iron or something and got to her. So yeah, so she's FBA on her dad's side. Yeah, her mom and them didn't do nothing with that kitchen, but I like SZA. Um, but yeah, Nicki Minaj, she's beefing with FBA artists all the time. She's beefing with Megan. Remember, she's beefing with Lil Kim. You see? And she beefs with her fellow Caribbeans. I think she was doing something going against Cardi B at one point. But this is interesting. We have to unpack this. I like to look at the deeper connotations in this. Because see, right now, we got to understand, like in the music industry, there's a lot of competition and there's perceived threats to Nicki Minaj's legacy. You know, Nicki was often hailed as the queen of rap for a minute. She was killing the game for a minute. Um, she's been in the game for like 15 years, a little longer than that, but I'm saying making platinum records and things like that. The Pink Friday thing came out 2010. So now she might be feeling that that career might be on the down trajectory. And you got so many other artists out here killing the game, getting real prominence out here. Oh yeah, and also yeah, Nicki was beefing with Remy. Ain't Remy FBA or half FBA at least? So right now, does she feel like there's a challenging of her status? Huh? And all she was already beefing with Rock Nation and Jay-Z, and I know that's tied into Lil Wayne and all that stuff. And I can understand that to a certain degree because, Nicki is clicked in with Drake and Jay-Z got clicked in with Kendrick and put Kendrick on that Super Bowl to basically drag Drake through the mud in front of a gazillion million people. So she might feel a certain way about that. She might feel some kind of personal loyalty to Drake, Young Money, Lil Wayne, and all that. Okay, that's somewhat understandable. That's somewhat understandable. And I think she was supposed to sign with Rock Nation early in her career, if I'm not mistaken, but she signed with Young Money. I think. But right now, there's a major cultural identity right now. Is Nicki Minaj feeling like an outsider in the American hip hop scene? You got Kendrick out here killing the game, rocking the American flags. The Clips is out here rocking the American flags. Beyonce, Jay Z's wife, is rocking the American flags. And Megan, she's giving a nod to the lineage too, doing the Texas thing and all of that. So is Nicki feeling a certain way about that? Is there some personal struggles going on? Because the FBA cultural pride and this FBA Renaissance, that's shifting the whole power dynamic in Black music right now. There is a massive wave of foundational Black American pride. And a lot of artists there embracing their lineage, man. There's cultural ownership going on. And some of these non-FBA artists, they might feel like they're being sidelined right now. Is Nicki feeling culturally isolated? Or is she feeling threatened as the conversation moves away from the Pan-African vibe and is going towards FBA lineage-based identity? And a lot of little things that Nicki has done, that's going to be a negative. Because remember, Nicki has done things that were very insensitive to our lineage, called her out about that. Remember, she would had that song "Looking Ass Nigga," and it was something with Malcolm X looking out of a window. That was the cover of it. That was looked upon as being disrespectful. Also, she had a line in one of her songs like, "Yeah, yeah, act like Rosa Parks and get your ass up." So people said, "Hey, that's not the business." She said, yeah, kick rocks. I'm gonna do it anyway." So that whole thing of disrespecting a lineage that's not yours, that's not going to fly because she was the one. She was one of the people. I want y'all to remember this when Michael B. Jordan was going through that Jorvay controversy, and the Trinidadians were trying to gatekeep. She jumped in the mix, y'all. Y'all don't forget that. Nicki Minaj jumped into that and she was like, "Yeah, you should apologize. Yeah, just apologize." She jumped in with the gatekeeping. Oh, some of y'all might have forgot that. Look that up. Yeah, Nicki Minaj jumped in and put her little 2 cent in and tried to gatekeep, like, "Yeah, that's our thing, Michael, and just apologize, just apologize." She was on that type of vibe. I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but I'm like, "Oh, okay." And a lot of us was like, "Oh, okay. What we doing? We gatekeeping culture? Okay, cool." But there's a new vibe out here. This FBA Renaissance right now. This recenters the narrative around us. And for years, Blackness was treated as this broad, vague identity. But now, with this Renaissance happening right now, the focus is on specificity, culture, lineage, contribution. And Nikki can't center herself in this narrative right now. Did you see she was doing a concert and she tried to have the cowboy boots and the hats on? Did y'all see that clip? Nikki came out on stage trying to do the cowboy boots and the hats and all that. Here's the problem: Nikki can't dance. Nikki can't dance, nor can she twerk. So it ain't really rocking right. But yeah, there's a video of her trying to do the cowboy boots and the cowboy hat thing. Y'all look it up in one of her recent concerts. So yeah, is she feeling a certain way? Is there a subconscious feeling of cultural exclusion? Huh? Is she beefing with these artists like that, just out the blue? And SZA's going on this tour. This is the damn FBA tour. Not like us. That's a foundational Black American theme. And SZA and Kendrick, they're out here killing the damn game right now. They're killing it, especially overseas. They're overseas, boy. I saw some of that footage overseas. Boy, they're rocking stadiums of people over there. They're killing the game, standing on FBA business. Huh? So is Nicki's Caribbean identity at odds with the new FBA Renaissance? See, that Trinidadian identity that once helped her stand out in a way that worked for her. It made her look exotic. Now, that kind of makes you look like an outsider because we are embracing inward right now. That's the way. You see all of us out here line dancing and doing all of these foundational Black American traditions. So a lot of folks who ain't of that lineage, yeah, they're starting to lose cultural ground to a certain degree. See the symbolisms of Jay-Z and his wife talking about American heritage, and Beyonce. And Beyonce did some real fly that I love. I absolutely love Beyonce. Um, Before her show, they play a montage of just a lot of foundational Black American historic footage, stuff from the 40s, 50s, 60s. And there's a song that they play from this sister who's an artist. I guess she was an artist in the 60s. And so the woman is older now. And I saw a video where um, the woman and her daughter was chilling, and her daughter's like, "Yeah, they're playing your song at the Beyonce concerts." So Beyonce flew the woman out to I think the concert in Atlanta, and they showed the sister. I can't think of her name. I can't. It starts with a W. I can't think of the sister's name, but she's at the concert. It's an elderly sister now, just really enjoying herself, listening to her song being played at the beginning of the montage of the Beyonce tour. So that stuff, that's some fly shit right there. That type of shit is fly. That's some family reunion type, looking out for the community type vibe, which is part of foundational Black American culture. take my hat off to Beyonce and the team for that. That was real fly. That warmed my heart to see them bring that sister out and show her love and just let her experience the whole vibe. But see, family delineation right now, that has created a new standard for cultural representation. You see, foundational Black Americans, we're demanding that those who speak for or profit off the culture, you got to have some roots in it. Yeah, if you say anything, you better have some, you better be half or something. And Nikki is not. So, her beefing with folks, that looks like frustration. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But it almost looked like a tax on foundational Black Americans and the culture itself rather than just beefs with individual artists. So we got to understand that a lot of times people will try to denigrate a lineage or a group of people by beefing with certain individuals within that group or within that lineage. That's why I'm gonna give you an example. When people, the tether is always whining about me online. Let me tell y'all something. None of that shit is about me. Because most of the shit they say, they be making up. So it ain't about me. Like, Tariq is an operative for the CIA. The CIA is going to stop all of our progress. Stop. That ain't, when you hear some bullshit and lie like that about me, it ain't about me. They just try to use me as a proxy to attack all 43 million plus of us. So it's easier to make up some straw man argument to attack that straw man than to say how you really feel. And how you really feel will always come out anyway. And if you look at some of these people's old comments, they always denigrate us as a group. So it's never about one or two of us. It ain't, no, that ain't it. It's never really about me. It ain't about me at all. They just try to use me as a proxy to hate on the entire lineage because that's who they have contempt for. You understand? So is Nikki doing the same thing? Does she have contempt for the lineage and she's just kind of picking these beefs with individual people and using them as a proxy? Yeah. Let's think about that. See, listen, Nikki's legacy, some people are like, is her legacy being reevaluated through a new lens of foundational Black American eyes? See, as more people are looking at the cultural contributions and Black FBA interventions and inventions, I'm sorry, there's less space for non-FBA artists to come in and claim ownership of our foundational Black American aesthetics. So does Nikki feel like her impact is being kind of minimized at this point in a movement that centers foundational Black Americans exclusively? Huh? And listen, there's a reason why Drake is really aligning himself. He went over there to the UK talking that bullshit, and people were calling him out, talking about, oh yeah, the best rappers are from the UK. Stop. Everybody was calling cap on that. They're like, oh no, you trying to find some new allies. Because Drake still has to go around with FBA artists. He has to publicly align himself with FBA artists. See, that becomes a political statement. Supporting FBA artists and movements and things that we got going on, that's like a political stance. Yeah. That gets you clout at this point. We're hot right now. You understand? Aligning with the foundation of Black American aesthetics, that's going to get you hot because you're going to get the grassroots supporting you. So that's the wave. Everybody's on that now. Yeah. So a lot of these folks whose identity was being the exotic other, see, these people, their identity was being the non-FBA. That was their whole hook. Hey, I'm not like them. I'm not like Little Kim. I'm not like Remy. I'm not like Megan Thee Stallion. I'm more exotic. I'm from the island. So, ooh, I got a little exotic thing going on. So, yes, look at what I got. Yeah, that ain't working no more. That's not really working like it used to. You see? And a lot of these other artists, they have to kind of walk on eggshells who are not of the lineage. Like the girl, little Tyler. I like her. I like some of Tyler's stuff. But people were kind of like, letting her know, hey, you've been saying some little weird stuff. We know you foreign and all of that, but all that you're not black, you're colored, and it was some stuff she was saying, and people were kind of questioning. Okay, we're watching you because you might come out funny style. So people are making sure that she puts respect on it. And the Tyler girl, she has to go out here and basically do an Aaliyah impersonation. She's basically doing what our good FBA queen goddess Aaliyah did, and that's cool. That's cool. But we're watching everybody. We're watching everybody and making sure they don't step over no lines. You see? So it's a deep thing going on out here. Well, I got a lot of people trying to get in here. Let me get y'all in here. Um, Brother McCall said Nikki was recently telling Ray J he's ugly. Hilarious. That's funny. Let's get Evil Witch in the building. Evil Witch. Well, we got a lot of folks in here. I didn't notice all these people in here. Evil Witch, what's going on?
Hello, hello. How are you, Tariq?
I'm good, Evil Witch. Now, are you in France? Where are you right now?
Yes, I'm in Paris right now. I'm very happy you invited me. Thank you very much.
Oh, I
I
can't
think
hear you.
you
Slow down. Yeah. Something. The reception is bad. Are you on an earpiece?
can you hear me now?
It's very bad.
Oh, that's terrible. In France, we don't have good internet. We are a third
Oh,
world country.
yeah. I can't hear you, sweetie. It's some kind of that connection is
Do
bad.
do you allow me to come back? Can you allow me again, please?
Okay, now I can kind of hear you now. What were you doing before? Okay, I have her call back. Well, was it your phone, Cicely Tyson?
No, it's Charm. Tariq, how you doing?
Oh, hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm recovering from that Beyonce concert. I had to go twice. I went in Houston, where I'm from, and then I saw her last night in Atlanta. It was epic. It was completely epic,
I
except for
I
them.
I heard they showed out in Atlanta, man.
That they really did. It was beautiful. I had great seats. I was in the club, the AMG lounge with the and food included. I just, I treated myself. But I wanted to comment on like the whole thing with Nicki and Beyonce. And I'm a Nicki fan and I'm a Beyonce super fan. Last night was concert number 7 for me.
Okay.
And so I just think Nikki has made poor choices. She has married a convicted child molester,
Mhm.
and she's made poor choices. Beyonce has made good choices. She's comes from a family that has supported her. She made a good marriage. She's supporting her children,
Yes.
and there's jealousy behind that. And I think we are having a renaissance. We're having a renaissance, the whole thing with the UK, with Drake, with this whole slander about the UK rappers being better. Joyner Lucas, have you heard the Joyner Lucas track that he dropped? It's a Skepta disc called "Nobody Cares," and it's absolutely sick. I was like,
Ooh.
I was hollering. He went off. He was like, just because Drake brings you out, like you cannot talk about UK rappers being better. He's like, how you the best when you're not even top 10 on your own coast.
Oh, damn.
So you gotta listen to that. It's sick. And then the other thing, you couldn't remember the name. I looked it up while I was waiting, but it's Queen Estamaro. She was actually discovered by Duke Ellington.
Oh, wow.
The song that Beyonce features in the video vignette is called Walk Tall.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, for the queen to be discovered by Duke Ellington, amazing. And I just, as far as Tyler, I like she's completely turned me off. But you see what she's styling herself like Aaliyah. She's gone and gotten Law Roche, who is FBA from Chicago, who is basically Zendaya is his muse. And so, she's knowing what to do as far as to line herself up because he's dressing her now. He dressed her for the Met Ball,
Okay.
the Met Gala.
Mm,
Yeah. And then last thing I want to touch on, it was too funny because I was actually getting some African some little supplies and stuff because some coal and some African stuff at this store that the brother's FBA, but he's Pan African clicked in, so I go get supplies and stuff, shea butter there. And I had my Beyonce shirt on that I bought last night, and it was an African brother in the store. And I speak French, and because he said he was from Senegal, so we started speaking in French or whatever. And he's like, how many languages do you speak? I said, I speak 4 languages. He's like, oh, that's not that many. So we're talking in French or whatever, and my French is perfect. So I was telling him like, oh, I went to the Beyonce concert. So he told this story, and it's just perfect for what's going on right now. So they're vendors. They sell the African setup. They sell stuff like 125th Street in Harlem, whatever. He said they were set up at Morehouse, and this was like about 15, 16 years ago. He said Jay-Z and Beyonce came up to his booth. I don't know if it was at night or not, but he said Jay-Z was like appeared to be he thought Jay-Z was drunk. And Beyonce had her head covered up, like so nobody would notice them. And Jay-Z liked his sunglasses, and he was like, "Look, I'll buy everything in your whole booth."
Mm,
And like right, and so the guy was like, "I don't know who you are, and you're drunk, and da da da." Like, no, get away from my shop, get away from my shop. He didn't know who it was. So then Jay Z and Beyonce goes over to the next booth, and it was another sister from Africa, and he said, "How much the glasses?" She said, "They're $20." So Jay Z bought the glasses, and then he said, "I want to buy all the glasses." So the lady didn't believe him. She still brought out the glasses. And she said Jay-Z not only bought like her pair, he gave her like a $14,000 tip.
damn.
So the African dude that I was talking to, he was like, I just messed up my whole life.
Uh,
Right. And I told him, I said, that's a testament to you need to know who the Black American celebrities are here. You need to know the people. And even the brother that owns the store, he was like, if somebody offers you money, then you take it. You don't judge him. He's like, I didn't know who he was. I thought he was drunk. I didn't know who he was. So it's just a testament of what's going on right now. It
yeah.
really is.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sister Charm. Love you, dear.
Love you.
Yes, indeed. Oh, that's crazy. Speaking of Morehouse, there was a story coming out of Morehouse this week. It says, after Morehouse grad detained by ICE, HBCU community sounds alarm. All right. So now, with that headline, now what do you think? When you hear that headline, what do you think? Because Morehouse, HBCU, a grad was detained by ICE, and the HBCU community sounds alarm. So, when you hear that headline, what do y'all think, family? You think, oh, they got a brother or a sister. They got an FBA brother or sister. And the Black community is galvanizing. They're sounding the alarm around it. Now, let me read the story. Um, A Morehouse College alum who played football at the storied HBCU has been detained by ICE agents outside of Dallas. A source told Capital B Atlanta Friday that um, Alex Maganda is currently being held at a facility in Anson, Texas, 200 miles from Dallas. Spellman College grad and social media influencer Lene Vanee posted on an impassioned plea on Instagram. With her over 800,000 followers, she encouraged the Spellman, the Spell House. They said Spell House, Morehouse, and Spellman, the moniker used for those who attended Spellman and Morehouse, to help their former classmate. I'm reaching out with great urgent plea for assistance regarding our brother, our friend and classmate, Alan Maganda, member of class of 2018, who has been recently detained by ICE. The situation has arisen amidst ongoing protests surrounding immigration policies and the current administration's stance on deportation. Now, the thing is, they're using brother, Morehouse, HBCU. This guy's full name is Alexis Daniel Maganda Gonzalez. This guy's a Hispanic, all right? All right. This guy is a Hispanic. So they've been trying to push this narrative that we gonna get it too. No, we're not. This is them trying to be deceptive, trying to galvanize us by using a very slick sleight of hand headline. It still ain't got nothing to do with us. No disrespect. Hey, we want people to be safe. I'm not wishing bad on nobody, but yeah, these little sleight of hand tricks ain't gonna work. Yeah, this dude, from what I understand, I think he immigrated here from somewhere in Latin America when he was 5 or something. So he ain't us. All right, this not an FBA issue. It ain't got nothing to do with no HBCUs. This is them trying to use trick language in order to galvanize us to get us involved, family. That's all that is. All right. So no, you don't call the Hispanic community. Let them get down on it. You call them and let them get down. I call Telemundo. Call them.
I can dig it. I'm on my way.
Where you going, Rootwork Jones?
There's some musty suckers on the streets. I got to go handle that. I got to split, baby. Can you dig it?
When you need to clean the stank off the streets, you don't call your mama. You call Rootwork Jones. Rootwork Jones is a stone cold dude that keeps the stanky suckers shaking in their boots.
Listen up, chumps. I'm looking for Dolomus. Can you dig it?
Rootwork Jones is getting down to the nitty-gritty, taking on the mustiest sucker in the city.
Dolomust is my name, and staying good and musty is my game. Where is Rootwork Jones?
This is a super soul brother getting rid of the stank. And you can for sure take that to the bank.
Take that, you musty jive turkeys.
When Rootwork Jones is not dealing with drama, he finds time to deal with foxy mamas.
Why don't you come on over here and give me some of that root work, sugar?
Rootwork Jones. He's bold. He's bad. And he's keeping the suckers musty mad. Rootwork Jones coming to a theater near you. Go to rootworkstyle.com.